back. So, as I said, I've cut a bit off the top of this section. I'm going to take that out now. Try and have marked around it, cut out what's behind. And then where's that gone? Oh. The hole saw plan didn't work on this section, so I just cut a little bit to go in there and bent this edge over slightly to match. So yeah, start cutting. So after a lot of fiddling and faffing, this piece isn't attached. That's going to tie that inner sill back in. We've bridged the gap pretty much all the way around. That's bridged up that side and across the top. This is thick enough, I should be able to weld into this. That's flushed out and ready to go. This, even though it looks bad, this is actually quite thick, but we'll see when we try and weld it. And I've got a piece cut. How's that go? Just like that. And then this piece will get welded, across the bottom to give us a flange to go onto that wing. So I think we're getting there. I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up and break out the welder, I think. I'm saying I think a lot. God damn it.
Cover them up so you don't see beyond the mask. My world's a dying star. Falling for you has buried me in smoke and ash. In smoke and ash. Take me through the ending of the story. I'll see you in the morning when I wake. Save me from the storm inside my bones. Fear of living on my own. I'm all alone.
First bit of welding's gone okay. Tiny little bit of blow through across this top edge. The bits I was worried about, which was this corner, it's gone nice. So we'll grind that back, sand it, just so we can. Now weirdly, there's smoke coming out from behind the bumper, but I think it's coming up the chassis rail, which is open Oh yeah, there. So it may be on fire inside the bumper, but we're not going to worry about that. First bit has gone okay. It looks better in real life than on a camera, if I'm honest. Focus. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We've welded this flange on this bottom edge of this section. We're just going to grind that weld off so it's nice and smooth, and then we can start moving into the next bit. Alright. Now I realised, hello, we're back. I realised yesterday we ended with a bit of a messy weld where I put this flange on the bottom of this piece. That's it. Finished off. We've gone back into here and added another piece, so we've got something extra to go on to with the plug welds. And I think we're going to have a go at putting some of this in. Good luck. Oh, a welding helmet, which is one that I borrowed off someone anyway. It kept like sagging down, so I'm to hold it with my left hand. I can't weld with one hand, so I've come up with a makeshift repair. I'll cut some of these cable ties off now. It appears I have ordered a new one, but this will sort of keep me going for the minute. They know that this is Seagun, which is a Sealy make. I think the new one was 30 quid. So this will keep me going for now, but I have ordered a new one. Right, let's do some welding.
Cover them up so you don't see beyond the mask. My world's a dying star. Falling for you has buried me in smoke and ash. In smoke and ash. Take me to the ending of the story. I'll see you in the morning when I wake. Save me from the storm inside my bones, the fear of living on my own. I'm all alone. Take me to the ending of the story. I'll see you in the morning when I wake. Save me from the storm inside my bones, the fear of living on my own. I'm all alone.
Okay, it is going alright. Well, the plug welds have gone alright. I've burnt my finger. This is a bit messy, but as I said before, when you're welding onto old rusty metal, it's a bit more difficult. It'll grind up alright. We'll be happy. These, I'm pretty happy with these. This is onto fresh metal that I fitted behind, so that should be okay. We're pretty flush. It'll grind out tidy. Just remembered, inside this panel behind the trim, someone's put some loft insulation, that yellow fiberglass itchy stuff, and I think I'm going to take the trim panel off and dig it out of there, because I don't want it. I've got a fire extinguisher just off camera. Oh, I realised this as well. Ala Ed China, off a Wheeler Dealers, I haven't got guards on any of my grinders. That's just so you can see what you're doing, what I'm doing, a bit better. Don't do this yourself. It's a very bad idea. To be honest, with a slitting disc, sometimes the guard gets in the way when you want to get into little gaps and things. Don't copy what I do. If you take the guard off, that is completely down to you. I don't want anyone suing me. And if you do take it off, be very, very careful. You are. That's our health and safety warning for today. Lower it down, get this trim panel off, dig that loft insulation out, weld the rest of this so I can get rid of the clips, and then we'll look at coming into this area, which will involve probably cut that panel out, or most of that panel. We'll see how we're going to do it. Now, oh no, I was going to tell you about something I've ordered, but I'll show you when it comes. That was well worth doing, because there was a full rubble sack of insulation inside that wing, and it was absolutely soaking, which I'm sure has caused some of the problems. So with that out of the way, we'll go back up in the air and finish welding these panels in. All right. Then, now I'm sure the welding looks very messy. I'm sure there's a million welders, probably more than a million welders, millions of welders who could do a lot better job. This is all going to get ground down. We'll break out the grinder, clean it up, and see what we end up with, which is the main thing. It's the finished job. This is all strong and quite hot. Yeah, let's grind it down. I would have liked to go further into here and replace this, but you've got to stop somewhere, and this is strong. Give it a good few more years, justifying it to myself there. But yeah, let's grind it, sand it, see what we're left with. there. That's why you should have a guard on your grinders. Tip. See, that's my own fault for warning you about not having guards on your grinders, and I immediately touched my finger on a flapper disc. So that's your fault. I'm blaming that on the viewers of YouTube. No, seriously. So, as you can see, my rather crappy welding. Still not quite happy with that corner there, but this is going to be seam sealed anyway, a bit like I did on the MX5. It's strong. I've dealt with all the rest behind it, so we're pretty happy with that. All this has been done with basically a drill, grinder, sander. These Cleco fittings, if you're going to do anything like this, they are brilliant. The heavier duty ones are these. But you've got to be very careful you don't weld next to them or you melt them, like I've done there. These are more aircraft production. These you may have seen on the opening titles of Days of Thunder. That's where I discovered about them, when they're putting the skin on the car. I think it's the opening titles. Or when they're building Cold Trickle's race car. But yeah, that's a decent bit of metal. I think what we're going to do is go underneath and weld in the sections that are made there to make this strong and finish this bit off, and then we'll come in and have a look at fixing this wheel arch. Got the door open so I can see if there's smoke coming from inside, which it was a bit when I was welding this section because there was still some seam sealer up inside I couldn't get rid of. But yeah, we're getting it. Slowly, badly, quite sure what we're doing. Someone in the comments last night called me a master at work. I can't remember your name, but hey mate, thank you. I'm not a master. I'm learning, like all these bends I just made in the vise. Move it, bend it a bit, move it, bend it a bit, move it, bend it a bit. That's how I've made these sections. Same with this. This metal is probably about the same thickness as originally there, but it's not, you can bend it reasonably. And like even this panel, which looks flat, it's not. It's got a bend running down through here. So this edge comes out and then that end went in. Yeah, get it a bit further up in the air, and oh my god, I got so much dust in my eyebrows. Move on to the next bit, which should, if everything's come out nice, tie into these holes that I've drilled in this section. I think, perhaps, maybe. Okay, next bit. Again, it's messy, it's horrible, I'm not that happy with it. looks dangerously like what was there before. But we're going to try and finish it a bit. And then I'm going to put a section in this little bit here. And then that's cleaned up all right. So we'll plug weld onto the back of that. Need to fix that section, but I'll do it when I got the new bit in. And I need to take something off this to bring it up a little bit so the new section can go in there. And I need to weld the new section together. But yeah, we'll have a go at grinding and sanding this down and see what we've achieved. This may be an horrendously bad idea. I've got a bit of a problem with my SIP little grinder thing. It bends here and then the belt goes loose. So, without stripping it down or any sensible precautions, I'm going to try and gusset with weld these 2 points here. But we'll see. It might work. I might melt it. Might need a new one of these. Might need a better one of these if I'm honest, but we'll see what we can achieve. I think we've done it. Didn't get that hot. So we just filled that corner with weld, and that because you could bend that. Yeah, that's all right. I'm happy with that. We'll try a belt and grind the bit that I need to grind in the first place. Bit of faffery off camera. I've welded up that edge which had bent in. That is why you shouldn't weld galv. Sorry, it's a bit bright. White dusty stuff that'll give you basically, I think it's mild anthrax poisoning, possibly. Shouldn't do that. Should clean it all off. I didn't breathe it in. Cleaned off this side that I was welding, but not off the back, which very learned older fabricator told me that. So I might have a bit of a cold tonight. Alright, really quick. Best I can, I've painted inside with this bare metal. Try and halt things. Obviously I'm going to wax oil it and stuff afterwards. But masked off again as best as possible where I'm going to spray. So I think our last job for the day is get this section in, get it ground back, and that'll do us. Good luck. Well, good luck me. All right. Hey. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of this. As you can see, I hadn't cleaned all the galv off. As per standard with my welding, it's quite messy, but it'll grind up okay. I've plugged these okay. And then my welder stopped feeding wire, which I thought I bought a 5 kilo reel for, but as you can see, it's a completely empty one. These are all for different... What's that one? Oh, maybe it's not then. Why didn't I use that the other day? Right, give it a go. I thought the welder had broke or the wire had got twisted or something, but the gist of it seems it just run out. So I must have only bought the 1 kilo the other day, or 0.7 kilo. Don't know why I didn't use this one. Right, let's change this. Welder's back in action. I use a CD Super Mk 150. I use a lot of CD stuff. It's alright, but it's not too expensive. Right, this bit of weld went terrible. This is okay, probably if you're, not probably, if you're a proper welder, that's cack. Plugs have gone on okay, so we're now going to try and fill these gaps to make this look a bit prettier, and then plug weld those holes across the back, bit of a seam across this edge, fill those 2 holes and that hole, bit of grinding, job is a good one. Well, job may be okay-ish. Alright, so we've plugged those, we've filled down this seam, that started burning away, so we filled that with weld. Filled this, filled that. These are awful. It was like seam sealer dripping out while I was welding them. So yeah, pretty much standard messy welding. I'm going to grind that, and that's going to be us done for the day. Hopefully it should look a bit prettier in a minute. Nice. That is us done for today. Got a pretty reasonable edge down there. That's welded nicely. That's tied in well. So basically we've gone from this to this today. The outside is sanded. So on this side we've just got round this square hole and this outer section of wheel arch to do. And I think we call that one episode. So, yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed. I'll try and make this episode not too long. My GoPro went flat, thank goodness for you lot. So I'll try and cobble something together tonight. Might get it out Sunday night, we'll see. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed. Please take care. Bye-bye.